This jellyfish is basically a time bomb.
Oh, yikes. Hi, everybody. It's Kourra here again. Today we're gonna react to some more MoreParz. Don't mind the model. I'm just piloting a flesh mech, so yeah, just stick with me. We're gonna be in it for like 30 more minutes. All right, enjoy. Bye.
Australia has a lot of spiders, but recently we found a new one, because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australia moment I've ever seen.
Oh,
For
God.
a bit of context, one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is the Sydney funnel web, the deadliest spider on the planet.
Bro,
'Cause
frick
of course it's
that.
down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary looking
Spider
fuckers
HQ,
are
yeah.
highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes
Oh,
will
I don't know
save
why I
you,
laughed at that.
be
I'm
aware
just
the
nervous.
bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather.
Bro!
Why do I bring these little nightmares up? What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery?
Same-day delivery is wild.
Rocking the same perk setup. That's
Oh
right.
my
Australian
God.
scientists have found a brand new
Oh,
species
that's
of
right, the
funnel
big
web that
boy.
is even bigger. How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around
They
5
literally called it
centimetres
the
or 2
big
inches.
boy.
And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge.
That's
For
average. Yeah, it's
comparison,
plenty.
This is the new one. It's twice the fucking
Yo,
size, cunt. 4
God.
inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what
The big
professional
boy.
scientist named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet? The Newcastle Big Boy. Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy.
Oh
Only
my
in Australia.
gosh, dude.
Australia has a
Bro, the Australian big boy, #1, funny name. #2, keep that spider away from me. I don't ever want to go anywhere near it. That thing can literally bite through your hand, dude. That thing is crazy.
weird. But I'm not sure you quite understand just how fucking weird.
Perry.
Everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator.
actually
and just
sweat
called it a
milk?
day. But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus features. First up, as is the qualifier for any Australian animal, did you know they're venomous? No,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with you. You heard me correctly. Male platypus actually
Isn't that
have venomous
crazy?
spurs on their hind legs. These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators.
What
as
kind of
well as a
poison,
tool for
though?
throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season.
What kind of
And
poison?
while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung
Oh.
by them doesn't fucking suck. See,
Ah.
platypus venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them
Oh
again,
my God.
these effects can last for several months. and
No
have treatment or
way!
antivenom. So if Perry stabs your shit, your only option is to cry about it.
Bro.
Next on the list of offensive
I don't think
capabilities,
Perry the
shit you not,
platypus.
Platypus shit.
I don't think Perry the platypus is a cartoon, is a children's cartoon anymore. That's wild.
They're the same hunting method as sharks.
Oh,
You see, that
gosh.
big ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly,
Dude.
containing electroreceptors.
Chat, tell me, why didn't we get any of that same perk setup? Why are we, like, why do we have like the crappiest perk setup out of every animal in all of the world? I swear. Our setup is like almost as bad as a slug, right? We don't even have a good, like, bro, we get ingrown toenails. Like, come on. Our teeth fall out. Like, come on.
Receptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. Meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear, they know about it.
Wait, what? We smell rain better than sharks smell blood? There's no way that's true. Is that for real? That's crazy if it's real. That's wild.
And last but not least, as if those things weren't already unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent.
No.
They glow. If you hit these things
That's
with
so
a
cool.
black
I wish
light,
I was
they
biofluorescent.
go bright fucking green. And the best part of that is,
Oh, what?
we have no clue why they do it. I guess it just means Perry was biblically accurate.
I wonder
Pokemon.
if so
I
they
mean,
can see each
who
other.
fucking designed this thing? Platypus are weird.
I wonder if it's so they can see each other. I wonder if their sight has like infrared or some shit.
This seal is such a menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him. Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal, a
Neil the
600 kilo
Seal.
absolute unit of
Look
a
at this
southern
guy.
elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under. He's known for, above all else, being an
Sing
absolute
double for a bit,
fucking
it's fine.
menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general. Has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping
what
his
a
fat ass down
dickhead.
directly in the middle of them.
It's probably
However,
warm there,
hands
though, let's
down,
be
the
real.
funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of
That's
the ocean,
so funny.
up the beach, crossed the road,
No.
absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox,
Oh.
and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this
I don't know, it looks
hard
like
beefcake
it looks like she
was
can go to
camping
work.
her driveway
Oh, wait,
for
never mind.
so damn long. Local
Maybe not.
news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal.
Dude,
of course,
Neil.
But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons of blubber
Oh
and
my
takes issue with the wall of
gosh.
your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my
Oh,
fucking insurance
Minecraft
plan,
mentioned,
dude.
chat. Minecraft mentioned. Dude, Minecraft mentioned. I want to play Minecraft so much worse now.
Wombats defend themselves
Dude,
by,
wombats.
throwing it
I love
back.
Wombat.
But to understand how the fuck
Yo!
they actually do it, you're going to need to learn a little bit about them first. You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys, all of them equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for
Look at
themselves and a
it.
family to live in.
It's like a
because,
giant rat.
Like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man. They go to around 1.3 meters in length, but despite being small,
Look
they
at
are
it.
built like fucking tanks. Weighing in at a
Jeez.
chunky ass 35
Look at those
kilos, but despite
claws.
their weight, I shit you not, they have a top speed of 40k an hour.
What?
Now, the fact that they can nearly get booked in a school zone, coupled with them
Ow.
being a tank-class marsupial,
Bro,
forms
what?
the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat
That's
anatomy
fast.
is they spec all their defense points into their ass. Rather than having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused
Look at that.
cartilage, making
Oh
it
my gosh.
extremely solid. And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense
Is that
mechanism
real? That's
I have
crazy.
ever seen on an animal. Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its
Ain't
head
no
in and
way
start
the
trying to dig
Dr.
him out.
D.
In response, the Wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse,
Wow.
and fucking floor it backwards
Ugh.
up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then
I wanna
squashes
see
the
that.
predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow.
Oh,
Straight up
dang.
crushing its skull. Like
Never
a Mortal
mind, I don't
Kombat
wanna see
fatality.
that.
I cannot make this shit up. Wombats defend
Never
themselves
mind.
by
I don't want to see that. That's crazy.
stepping on this rock could straight up
Oh, there it
paralyze
is,
you.
rockfish.
That's because this isn't actually a rock. That is a stonefish, a species of underwater menace native to Australia. And coming as a surprise to absolutely no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean.
Yeah,
because
no
of course
thank
it
you.
is. As if the fucking snakes and spiders
Dude,
weren't enough.
everything
now
in
I can get
Australia wants to
packed
kill
up
you,
by a
even
pet
rocks.
rock. But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat to my mental health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn
Nope.
you. No.
He doesn't care.
This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran.
Oh
having
my
evolved some of the
gosh.
most
Look
impressive
at it. It
camouflages
looks
in
so
the animal kingdom to
goofy.
make hunting easier.
Oh!
And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the
Oh,
shallows
that
of
is
the beach.
terrifying.
And that venom we talked about earlier is stored in these.
Oh,
13
God.
giant, highly
Oh,
toxic spines
God.
that deliver venom when pressed
Look
on.
at that.
You probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his
Yeah, no thanks,
ethereal
Australia.
beauty,
I'm good.
weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and
Ugh.
stepped directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of
Oh,
neurotoxin.
no thank you.
Straight
No
into your
thank
system.
you.
Oh, you thought it was normal venom.
You live in
No.
Deadland?
No. You see, these things maxed out the toxin
Bro, I
skill
think
tree,
all of
producing
Australia
a
is
mixture of
Deadland.
2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs in under an hour. And even if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling,
Oh
and
my god.
tissue necrosis.
Don't
Because
look
this
it up.
is Australia,
Don't look that
where
up.
even the scenery is trying to
Alex,
one-shot me.
Seattle,
Stepping on
yeah. Reason 2,764 not to visit Australia. Exactly.
this rock could
Yeah.
This bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Bro.
Introducing the cassowary, a species of ratite.
Dude,
native
these
to the
things
land
have
down under.
such
And
strong
for once,
legs.
guys, it's not venomous. Can still flatline you though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens belong to the same family of birds as the emu, and as such,
Overgrown
share their
turkey
impressive
still
size,
can one-tap
coming in
you,
at a
dude.
solid 79 kilos.
Oh
and
my
growing up to 6
God.
feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory, mount these things like a chocobo.
Tyler. No way,
the
dude.
cassowary is basically a spec ops emu, being twice the weight, highly territorial, and most importantly, coming with a combat knife.
Freaking
strapped to
combat
their
knife.
Foot. That's right. This is a cassowary claw.
Look at
and
that.
It's the reason they can hit you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these
That'll go
claws are a
straight
full
through your
5
chest.
inches long.
Oh
You
my.
know, I mean, honestly, 5 inches, way too big for anything, and especially for
Bro.
something that's going inside me. And if you anger the tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're going to
Tactical
get,
assault
as their
turkey is
go-to
wild.
defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife
Oh,
and
yeah.
attempt to disembowel you.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, even if the
Dude.
kick doesn't put your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you flying,
That's
which can cause
wild.
some fairly major problems. Problems like the
5
incident that
inches
occurred in
is very
2012,
respectable.
where I
Yeah,
shit you
boy,
not,
boy.
a
Very
cassowary
respectable.
ran up behind a random tourist, hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small cliff into the ocean.
No.
I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country
Imagine-
where at any
imagine
point
he
I could
survived-
be hit with
he
a
survived
sneak attack
that.
by a kaiju turkey is f***ing terrifying. This
Imagine he survived that kick off the cliff into the ocean and then just steps on a freaking rockfish. That'd be so unfortunate. Oh man.
Australia lost a war to emus.
Oh, the emu war.
But how? How the f*** did we lose
I heard about
armed
this.
conflict with
So
flightless
quirky.
birds? Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just
Oh,
one
no.
major problem. That's emu territory. And emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall
Oh
and
my
40
gosh,
kilos
that's-
in weight,
that's
they can eat a lot
terrifying.
of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated
Oh
to
yeah,
the
of
farmland.
course.
And these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of
Oh
man-sized
my
poultry,
God.
20,000 emus strong. These
What?
tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences into the fields and started laying waste to the wheat.
Oh my
Farmers
gosh,
attempted to
dude.
fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help.
Rifle
Sir,
fire.
20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Fuck me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to
No.
commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th
And
Heavy
they
Artillery
lost,
Division
right?
was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers.
No, dude.
Excessive for an overgrown turkey, if you ask me. And upon
That's
their first
crazy.
deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
I am speed.
Really f***ing fast, clocking a top speed
Yeah.
of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping
No.
12 emus. This embarrassment led the
They
army
got
to retreat
12
and rethink their
emus.
plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this
Nice,
also
dude.
didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn
What?
the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of Because emus are mostly
Small.
feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage. Meaning
Oh
it was
my
taking
gosh.
around 10 bullets for every one bird. So after a month
Damn.
of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit.
My
So the army
God.
wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could.
For Australia, dude, they lost a war to freaking giant turkeys. Oh man.
Kangaroos can and
Yo!
will beat you up.
Oh,
That's right.
shit.
Just because it's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass. And Australia's
Bro,
most iconic
everything.
marsupial.
Hold on, pause. Everything in Australia wants to kill you, dude. The water wants to kill you somehow. Things in the water, they want to kill you. Things on the ground, they want to kill you. Things in the air, they want to kill you. Like all of that. Thank you, Yuki. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can do just that.
Crazy.
Because
Oh!
they are way bigger
Dude,
than
he
you
was
think.
feeding him, and he's like,
Their
"Fuck
biggest
you,
species of
take
root
this."
Coming in at a ridiculous 2.8
Look at them. Dude, they're
meters
just
in
like-
length. And with the iconic hop, they've
They're
got
like
a vertical
nothing but
jump
muscle.
Of 3 meters. I mean,
Oh
honestly,
my
with a stats
God.
spread like that, they don't belong in the outback. They belong on a fucking NBA court. As if that wasn't enough, they're also
Dude, is
built
that
like-
real? Wait, is that real? Did Spider-Man get dunked on by Venom, chat? Oh my gosh.
As if that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks, weighing in at a
Dude,
full
look at
90
them.
kilos of roid-raging rabbit
Look
muscle.
at that.
Being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has any right to. Pegging the speedo at a max of 70k an hour. Meaning if you make them angry, a juiced up rat the size of a small car
A
is going to run
juiced
your
up
ass down
rat?
and beat the f***ing brakes off you. And I'm
Oh
not
my
kidding when I
gosh.
say they really will rock your shit.
They should be
because
protecting your
roos are
new-
professional
right?
kickboxers, with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight, kangaroos will lean back on their tails as a stabilizer.
Bro, wait.
And,
Didn't somebody box a kangaroo and lose once? Like, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that somewhere.
immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving out of one another.
Oh, frick.
And those
Oh my
kicks have enough
gosh.
force to crack
Yo.
bone. And as
Oh.
if getting drop-kicked by a muscled marsupial wasn't bad enough, they also, for some reason, have the same bite force as a grizzly bear. Because why not? Now, even with
Somebody
all of
punched
this,
one
there
'cause it
are
had
still
his
animals
dog and he got in
stupid
trouble
enough to
for it.
view a rua's lunch. Which brings me to the most terrifying thing that
That's
they
silly.
do. When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of water and wait for whatever is chasing them to follow them in. Once the predator enters the water,
It'll drown
the
them.
kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck
No.
and just straight up drown them. What the f?
What?
I share a country with psychopathic tren rats. Oh! Kangaroos can and will beat.
That last clip at the end is cracking me up.
rats. Kangaroos touching this plant will put you
Oh,
in the hospital.
no, not
This
this
is the
one.
gympie-gympie plant. A
The
piece of foliage
gympie-gympie
native to
plant.
land down under.
Dude,
And
even the
surprising
plants
no
wanna
one,
kill
not
you,
only is
or
the
make
thing
you kill
venomous,
yourself
it is
or
in
something.
fact the most painful plant on the planet. Because yeah, no, of course, man. Even the
Good
fucking
night,
leaves down here have a
boy,
problem
good
with
night.
me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs.
Oh,
that upon
no.
closer inspection aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting
Oh,
to stab you and
gosh.
break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain.
Oh gosh.
I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and
Oh
electrocuted,
god.
and another woman saying
I
that
can't
it was
imagine
straight up
that.
more painful than childbirth, and she'd given birth 4 times. And
Oh
the
my
fucked up
gosh.
part is, the neurotoxin
I feel like if you've given
isn't
wait,
even
hold on.
lethal.
I feel like if you've given birth 4 times, you have like a less like you have like more pain tolerance to giving birth. So I feel like somebody who's given birth to like 1 time would have a better idea of what childbirth pain is like, right?
So this
Maybe?
spiteful cunt of
I
a
don't know.
plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually
Oh,
worse
God.
than being put in
Why
the
would he
ground.
do
This
that?
is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can
Why would he
continue
do that?
hurting you for literal years after
Oh.
being stung. This is because because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down. And with how thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin-emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin every time that they're moved or disturbed. This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper. I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts.
What? Using it as toilet paper has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I feel like you'd start feeling the pain by the time you ripped it off, right? Surely, right? Dude, what?
This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton just to lay an egg. This cute little guy is the kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary.
They got ripped off.
The same family of flightless
They got
birds.
ripped off.
However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the kiwi's bloodline
They lay a
actually
massive
looked
egg.
up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability.
Oh my gosh,
So that
dude.
leaves the question, what did the kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely f***ing nothing. Kiwis are tiny.
It's like the first thing in Australia that doesn't want to kill you.
4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty well for them until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the kiwi.
I mean, aren't Australians
these
like
feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting fucked over. You see, the kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in 1 meal size egg. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same size. The kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a bun in the oven anymore.
Bro, that's like an adult trying to give birth to like a 4-year-old. That's like a human trying to give birth to a 4-year-old like child. That is crazy.
This animal will peel your
face
off
it's a drop bear.
A banana. Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie.
Yep.
The infamous, terrifying drop bear. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under.
No,
this genuine nightmare may seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design. You see, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you
not
do
going to
see
Australia.
them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And
I'm
that
not going to
assumption is
Australia.
probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can f***ing think of.
For real?
Once you've walked in the range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your f***ing head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that
440 pounds?
And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger. Once firmly attached to your skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws and attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a chainsaw.
No, thank you. I'm not going to
The
Australia,
attacks are
guys.
so vicious.
I'm not
most
going to
human
Australia.
Victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive.
Dude,
Australia
what?
loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks.
No.
So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real.
Are you?
I made it all up.
Fuck you!
This animal.
That
will
was an
kill
April
your-
Fool's Day joke. Oh my god, dude, I was so invested. I thought they were real. Oh my god, dude, they're so scary. Dude, I'm so glad they're not real. I'm so glad they're not real. Holy crap, dude.
This jellyfish is basically a time bomb.
Oh, yikes.
Introducing the irukandji, a
What do you
species of
mean?
jellyfish native to the northern waters of the land down under, and possibly my least
Caleb.
favorite animal in the entire ocean, because it is just a massive,
Oh gosh.
spiteful cunt. Well,
What?
massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny. I
No.
mean, ridiculously small. Being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head, and basically completely fucking invisible to the naked eye.
What?
This is a fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame, they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles, and shocking absolutely no one,
Neurotoxin. Say it.
it is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean. I'm so
Fudge,
fucking tired
dude.
of the
What?
stealth poison multi-classes on OCE servers, dude. This shit is broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the bearer's touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin
Oh.
like a bullet and inject you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail of various
Oh
neurotoxins.
my God.
And upon
Why?
being injected, you will feel absolutely f***ing nothing. You'll keep swimming around, splashing about
Oh
in the water,
no,
kissing
dude.
the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean the kind
What?
of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die.
Oh.
I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die! That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a condition known as
What?
Irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong, there are records of people asking to be, avoiding a ban here, forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server. And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain
Oh
throughout
my-
your entire body. And after making you feel like a failed
What I'm
isekai
learning-
protagonist,
Chat, what I'm learning is don't go in the water if you ever go to Australia. Alright, number one, I'm never going to Australia. Literally never. Ever, ever. Right? Number two, don't go in the water. Just don't go in the water.
the venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart
Oh my
rate
gosh.
through the roof, which can cause heart attacks,
I'm-
blood
Dude, I'm about to have a heart attack. Just listening to this, dude. The hell? Crazy.
clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages.
And the f***ed up part is it doesn't have an anti-venom.
This thing
Of course
sneak
not.
attacks you,
Of course not.
waits 30 minutes, sends you a private DM telling you it got your ass, and there is not a fucking thing you can do about it. Toxic little shit.
Sends you a private DM that says, got you, bitch.
This pigeon saved
Dude.
an entire army battalion.
Heroes
What?
never die.
Hey, it's
Introducing
Mercy.
Our protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the
It's-
oldie times, radio technology was, kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over
Yeah, you
distance.
can't see them in the water, I know.
Which is how, in 1918, our feathered
Oh,
little shock
okay.
trooper
Alright,
here
buddy.
ended up
Alright,
in
buddy. Alright,
France.
buddy.
With 500
And
US
seal your
soldiers
butt.
stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy
Oh,
lines,
gosh.
completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red
Oh,
crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German
Got
soldiers.
you,
And
bitch.
to
Your
make matters
butt,
worse,
dude.
being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely
what?
hammered with friendly artillery.
Oh, oh!
Now, stuck as far away as
Oh
they
my
were, they
God.
would've had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans
on the
were having
point.
none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained. Cherami. Desperate
Oh my
and
gosh.
rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Cherami, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees.
They were
And
shooting
just
him all out
when
of the...
they thought he was clear,
No!
some sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched in horror
No!
as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Cherami's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs.
Jesus.
And this giga chad of an animal tanked it.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this
Bro,
mangled
what?
pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Cherami made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today.
Look at that!
There he is. Absolute f***ing legend.
That's...
This pigeon saved an entire...
Dude, what a Giga Chad pigeon, bro. What the heck?
Scientists
That's
just
crazy.
de-extincted a
Yo, Big
12,000-year-old
Boom,
dog.
thank you.
Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company
12,000-year-old
called
dog.
Colossal
Wow.
has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea. Bringing back extinct species.
Oh
And
my
recently, they made a
gosh,
breakthrough.
dude.
They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know those big
A
ass predators
direwolf?
from Game of Thrones that the Starks had?
Hell
those are
yeah.
actually a real ass animal, alive
Hell
from the late Ice
no.
Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is basically a wolf on steroids.
Oh.
These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine.
That's
and in a move that I'm sure has
crazy.
no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life. These two little
Apex
guys
Predator,
are now
by the way, it's
6 months old and
cute.
have been living on a private plot
Aw.
of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these
Aw.
adorable little killing machines, showing that man will
That's
literally interact with
adorable.
an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back.
No.
Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the dire wolf.
You know, that's
So-
misleading. That's misleading because don't we share 99% of our genetic code with like an earthworm or something like that? It's like or mushrooms or something. Yeah. Like that's misleading.
Using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creature creator, then using the code found in dire wolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the f*** out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of
That's
20 edits to
crazy.
14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a dire wolf short of time travel. Which is cool as f***.
So it's just a
Again,
big
5
grey
years
wolf that's
before
all
a man-made
white.
horror beyond comprehension breaks out of
We
that
share a lot
fucking
with
lab,
bananas,
and we are
yeah.
all playing Resident
I'd
Evil.
take care of a worm.
Scientists just de-extincted
Damn.
this bear.
You said Shadow says dire wolves are closer to jackals or sort of between jackals and wolves. Wow, really? That's crazy.
Bear was actually a soldier. But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran on their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see,
wanna
this
buy a
bear's
bear?
mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a
Aw.
low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear
That's-
and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad law, said,
W.
Good deal.
and in the most
That's a damn
worthwhile
good deal.
trade deal in history, parted ways with their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Voytech. And the
Voytech.
22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear
Aw.
and soldier.
Maggots!
As
Look
a
at
baby,
it.
they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed
Marmalade,
a soldier
no.
as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Voytech how to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march.
There's no way
While
that's
not
real.
undergoing
Dude,
rigorous
what?
military training, Voytech would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you?
Oh.
On top of double rations, they would also feed Voytech treats in the form of beer
Dando?
and cigarettes.
Happy
They
fine.
let the bear have smoko. Eventually, Army High Command heard about
Smoko?
this and were having absolutely f***ing none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Voytech had to go. Or did he? Because
Did
the
he?
22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
That's
I'm doing my
crazy,
part.
dude.
I'm doing my part.
It's a bear soldier. Oh my.
Voytech was given a serial number and granted the rank of private. So when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Voytech."
That's Private Voytech,
Voytech
dude.
took his
Yeah.
new role very seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Voytech began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo
What?
to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear. For his
Oh,
bravery, he was
dude.
promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed
What?
their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This
That's
absolute
dope, dude.
unit
There's no way.
smoked,
That's so cool.
drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis.
Ah.
Based.
Fuck Nazis.
This
Frick them
bear
all, dude. The bear is badass, dude. All right. Pause. We gotta change back. It's time, chat. It's time. The timer's over. I'm gonna scare you. You ready? Are you ready? Boo! I scare you? Did I scare you? I scared you, right? Yeah, I scared you. Okay. Anyways, let's watch a little bit more. No, go back. Go back. Nope. You guys know what to do.
was actually a soldier. But how? You see,
Oh,
it
wait,
was
we already watched this
1904. Crocodiles are just dinosaurs that forgot to go extinct. I am dead serious,
What?
and I cannot think of a croc species to better make my point than the saltwater crocodile, a species
Dude, that's
native
just a
to the land
giant
down under,
dinosaur.
and shocking absolutely no one. Yes, it can and will eat you.
Yep.
You
Oh,
see,
God.
keeping on theme with the whole forgetting to go extinct thing, the salty stat spread just feels like something that should have been patched out with the rest of Jurassic Park, starting with their ridiculous size.
Dude,
You
whoa!
see, salties are the largest reptile on the planet, coming in at a total of 6 fucking meters long with a maximum weight of 1,100
That's
kilos.
which
Which makes this murder lizard
Wait, was that Robert Irwin's dad in the background? I think I saw Robert Irwin's dad.
genuinely longer than my fucking car. And the fucked up part is that despite being longer than my ute, they are for some reason absolute masters of stealth. You see, crocs are ambush predators, which is a scientific way of saying they
I
are
can't.
dirty fucking
Every time he
campers.
mentions predators and flashes Dr. Disrespect, I laugh because it's true.
You see, they've got 2 raised eyes that sit on the top of their heads, which means they can submerge their Ford Falcon-sized
Yeah,
frame
yikes.
basically entirely under the water without
Yikes,
sacrificing the ability
dude.
to spot whatever they are looking to turn into a Happy Meal. And from your perspective as the Happy Meal, they are really difficult to see,
Oh
which
my
makes it
gosh, dude.
very easy to walk just a little too
They've been
close
around
and,
longer than dinosaurs?
yeah, get bitten in half by that hydraulic press
Jeez.
they call a mouth.
That's why I
You mean Steve Irwin? Pardon, state of Australia. Yeah, Steve Irwin. It's Robert Irwin's dad. Steve Irwin. Yeah, that guy.
That's
Oh,
right, just
what?
like any good camper, these scaly assholes are packing a one-shot in the form of one of the highest bite forces of any animal on the fucking planet, having been recorded at putting out a maximum of
That's
3,700 psi of force through their jaws.
What's funny is like, yeah, they have like really strong jaw strength, but you can literally just like wrap like 2 things of electrical tape around their snout and they can't even open their mouth. Isn't that crazy? Also, if you didn't know, humans have really, really strong jaw bite too. I don't know if you guys know that, but humans are able to bite really hard. If you wanted to, you could easily bite through your finger. But there's like something in your brain that stops you from doing that. Crazy.
To put that into context, your skull will crack at 1100 psi, so a croc would pop your head like a watermelon.
Oh,
And if you don't
oh my
immediately get
god.
folded by the first bite, those jaws will latch onto you as the croc begins a
Yeah.
death roll, spinning
Yeah,
its ton
yikes.
of body weight like a washing machine until whatever part of you it has decided to eat snaps off and is added to its protein goal.
Okay.
But the best thing about the crocodile is their build
Oh my gosh.
is so fucking good.
It's
They
like
have
perfect.
genuinely been around with very little evolutionary change
Yeah.
for 65
Yeah.
million years. Which means I grew up watching
They have no
Steve
need to-
Irwin wrestle dinosaurs
That's him!
for fun. Rest in peace, you absolute
That's
fucking
him.
legend. Crocodiles are just
Steve Irwin,
dinosaurs
Robert
that
Irwin's
forgot to
dad.
go
Yeah. Did you see that one where the croc accidentally grabbed another one's leg and rolled it off? No, I don't watch those. Brady Barr supposedly measured a big Nile croc at around 7,000 psi. He said people measure bite force on crocs after they are caught and exhausted. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Koalas are really dumb. In fact, Australia's fuzzy icon is probably the dumbest thing on the planet.
They're
And
so
that
cute,
stupidity
though.
starts
Look
with
at
their
'em.
diet, because of all the things they could have chosen to eat, they chose to eat nothing but straight up poison. You see, koalas feed exclusively on eucalyptus leaves, which, shocking no one,
Nice
are
normal, yeah,
highly
normal
toxic.
model.
Because they are full to the brim with eucalypt oil, which is so fucking poisonous that as little as 3.75 mil is enough to land you in the afterlife.
Dang,
with the reaper asking you why
dude.
the fuck you felt the need to eat a leaf.
Why?
Oh,
my
it's all-
new pickup line. Hey girl, how you doing? You want to go chew on some eucalyptus leaves? That's that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Also highly flammable and burns like napalm. Because Australia. Now,
Oh.
despite nature putting up this giant
2 out of
do not
5?
eat sign,
I'll take it.
that did not
I'll take
stop
it.
the koala because he can't fucking read. This suboptimal bulking diet
No.
not only gives the koala all in the way of nutrition, but also requires their body to rest to filter out the toxins so they don't fucking cark it. Meaning they need to spend upwards of 18 hours a day sleeping in order to just digest their fucking food.
Oh my gosh.
These dumbasses spend most of their life in a food coma. That is, however, if they even get
Look
to the
at it,
food
so
to begin with,
cute.
because they are so mind-numbingly brain dead that they will not recognize a eucalyptus leaf as food unless it is on the branch. I could give this dumbass a
Look at
lifetime
that.
supply
Not a
of
single
food,
thought in
and
his
if
head,
it wasn't
dude.
on a stick, he would starve to death. It should come as no surprise to you at this point that the koala has such an esky temperature IQ
Aw.
that they literally have a smooth brain. The thoughts slide right off of this dumb c***. I love him.
They have a smooth brain. I know. Yeah, I know that. They have literally a smooth brain. Like normal animals, like smarter animals, have wrinkles in their brains, right? To make like more surface area or some shit. I don't know, man. Science, right? But theirs is just like smooth. Yeah.
Koalas.
Oh yeah, they also like 99% of them have syphilis. Which is crazy.
Australia has just found zombified bugs.
Oh gosh,
That's right, we are
no.
closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you
Is
think.
the wasp
so
one?
just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Brassard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory, with the goal of finding and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to science. I mean, me personally, I think we found more than
Is it
enough
the
bugs,
mushrooms?
especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the fucking soil. But what do I know, right? Anyway, on his
I'm
trip
not
to the
going to
middle
Australia,
of
man.
nowhere, he stumbled across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a
Ow.
little off. You see, the main ant colony was fine, completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots of
Oh my
grass
gosh.
surrounding the colony like a Bug's Life version of Vlad the Inhaler. Yeah, those were significantly less normal. Brassard,
That's
mildly
crazy.
unsettled by
Yo,
the
it's
ant gore on
Landmark. Look, it's Landmark. I didn't know he was a wildlife photographer in Australia.
Brassard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for inspection and upon getting a closer look, realised something both really cool and really spooky. The ants had been overtaken by fungus.
Oh,
Red
shit.
ones. More accurately, a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus.
Yep,
infamous
you're
around
right.
the globe for its ability to create zombie bugs.
That's
and the way it does it
crazy.
is unbelievably horrific. You see, it begins with a spore landing on an ant.
Oh
and
my
producing a
gosh.
thin, rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches
Nope.
to their exoskeleton. At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's
Oh,
body and
gosh.
brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one single goal: climb. Its fungus-riddled mind drags its rapidly deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its final
Oh,
act being to
gosh.
clamp its mandibles
So that it
onto
can spread the
stem in a
spores
death grip,
further.
finally succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed.
I
Its
don't feel so
corpse
good, Mr. Stark.
blossoming into a fully grown cordyceps fungus and
What?
raining down spores onto the rest of the colony
it's
to
terrifying.
continue the cycle of infection. Now look, I know this fungus is found elsewhere
That's
in the world,
terrifying.
but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia. With my luck, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us against couch-sized
Wait, do they-
spiders within the fucking week.
Wait, oh my
Australia-
god. Wait, they don't control their mind, they actually take over the mobility? There's no way. There's no way. That's crazy. Alright, chat, that is all. That is all for me. Guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video about Australia and all the reasons why I will never visit Australia. Anyways, bye!